Hello, welcome. My name is Straya, and this is a brand new playthrough of Where Winds Meet on a brand new channel. This is my first time doing this. I am testing it out. I have been figuring out the audio and just how to do this whole thing. So if anybody out there is watching, how are you? How are we feeling about Where Winds Meet in March of 2026 or whenever you're listening? I did play this when it came out and absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to dive back into it after life got in the way. I originally got into a little bit of chapter 2 and a tiny bit of exploration in Kaifeng, but that's it. I am actually starting fresh with a new character, a new playthrough for this series of videos. Since nobody knows who the hell I am right now, I do feel like I want to give a little bit of an intro, but a note on the audio. I am still figuring this out, so the audio starts out a little rough in this playthrough. It gets better at the end, and I've cut out any place where it was just you couldn't make out anything I was saying. I just know that if it's rough and you can't tolerate it at the beginning, it does get better. I am a writer, and I'm particularly interested in world building. I love to look at how a game in particular, and a really immersive game like this one, creates this fictional world, and how that even ties into things like themes or character arcs when it does. And a game does that in so many ways that can't be done in any other medium. So that's something that I will be focusing on when I'm playing the game. If you're curious, fiction writing has mostly been a hobby for me through my life. It's something I do for myself, for the few other freaks who like my fan fiction. Most of my professional writing has been not fiction, has been really dry analysis in a area that is not very interesting to most people. But I have studied creative writing, I've studied literature, and I continue my studies now as a writer who's becoming more serious about publication and as an independent scholar. But the thing that really brought me to this game in the first place, I am a huge fan of two Chinese dramas, The Untamed and Word of Honor. They pulled me into this world of Chinese, either historical or faux historical settings, the costumes, the beautiful people, the martial arts, everything about it. The idea of running around within this world and exploring a story in this kind of setting was just irresistible to me. If you loved the two characters at the beginning of this game and their dynamics, and were like me, like shouting that they are boyfriends or husbands, and you hated what happened and you wanted to see more of them, go watch Word of Honor immediately. So my approach to this playthrough is going to be pretty deliberate. It's not going to be full of the sort of chaotic energy that the game encourages, that a lot of people bring to their playthroughs. I'm not focused on PvP or social aspects, and I'm not into sort of min-maxing or gaining experience and leveling up as quickly as possible. And so that's it. That's who I am. That's what we're getting into with this playthrough. We're playing with Chinese voice acting and subtitles. We'll catch as many subtitles as we can. So that's what we're getting into, and I think I might as well leave it there and get into the gameplay. So now that I've gone through this introduction, I have started. I needed to kind of get past this intro to kind of get my character looking exactly like I wanted him to look, and I figure that if you're watching my playthrough, it's probably not a game that's brand new to you, so hopefully you've already seen the preview. I think at the end of my videos, I am also going to be talking as a writer about some thoughts I have on the writing in that section, in that particular recording session. So if you're interested in that, that will also be marked. So you can either continue and watch it or just skip past it. Let's get moving. Yes, Ruby, I agree. Let's go. Let's get this game started and stop just collecting things, which is also something that I have fun doing, spending too much time collecting things in this game. I love moving around in this game. It's so much fun just to run around and move and jump. Okay.
好漂亮的小鸟呀！老大，我们带只回去怎么样？
这会儿不急着你的画本子了？什么东西？
老大，你看那边！
I love this character so much. Okay, select our bird. There we go. There's a few things to collect and a cat to pet.
家中的宫烧增大的拉锯很小，剑枝的准头还欠缺判据，需要再一一进行验证。
验证过了，差点一箭双雕，射人脑门上。
一箭双雕。
啊，抱歉，没伤到你们吧？
那你是什么人？干嘛跑来我们清河社鸟？
哦，在下文经馆弟子冯继生，奉命来清河办事，只是想试试我新做的工具。谁曾想，
文经馆，哇，好像是很有名的大门派哎。你就是传说中的江湖大侠吗？大侠，最近好多江湖人都来清河了，你们是来做什么的呀？是不是这里有宝藏，还是武林秘籍？
这文经馆虽为江湖名门，但在下武艺微末，实在当不起侠客之名，恐怕辜负姑娘期待了。
原来你不是大侠啊！哼，也是，大侠怎么会连箭都射不准？
算了，也没伤到哪儿，我们走吧。往后研究工具还要更小心些。
等等，师父说过，君子无错，是因为君子能够弥补自己的过失。冯某有一本射术心得，勉强算得上姑娘说的秘籍，愿以此物给二位赔个不是。
射术心得？
说来惭愧，此书是我多年研究心血，尤其以第3章探讨了第2指节为括约弦时，用力的大小对射中远近的影响。哦，对了，
听得晕晕乎乎的。等等，老大，他刚才说这……
你多年心血，就这样送与我们，这赔礼也太贵重了吧？
哎，敝帚自珍乃是文经馆弟子修行大忌。 您可先看看，有何难懂之处，冯某定全力解答。
Okay, so I said it skipped. I thought you could kind of see dialogue, but it doesn't seem to work with this one. So it's always so funny when she calls him Big Fung. I think that she calls him, I missed it this time around while I was trying to figure out the volume. Pretty sure she calls him like Brother Fung, Funga. I'll have to rewatch it again and try to catch it. But Big Fung is a strange localization. But he's just such a sweetheart. Look at him, he's so pretty and humble and sweet and soft-spoken. Oh.
止水还是第一次授予他人，
I just love him so much.
可否与
Alright,
我一同
yes,
射击那
let's
悬崖
shoot
边
the
的鸟儿，
birds together.
助我以观时效？请，
See if I remember how to do this.
可准备好了？这练习平原止水，讲究一个把握时机，要根据鸟儿的位置适时发动。
女侠没看错你。
I know I don't have to shoot a bunch because he doesn't hit any.
我们真的赢了。
要不是周女侠的督促，说不定就要输掉了。
那是。冯大哥，你说是吗？
Funga.
二位齐心戮力，
Yeah. Big brother.
确实
Big
让
brother.
冯某受益良多。
I apologize for my accent. I do my best to at least pronounce, like, sort of the bare minimum of correct. But I'm very bad at altering my accent, which is, I know, not the nicest.
比你是这一场，我对工具研究的感悟又多了几分。
也多亏冯大哥，我这射术也提升了不少。
其实，我听闻来清河的江湖人中，不乏穷凶极恶之辈，就连死人刀也。
我知道了，其他大侠来清河是为了抓这个恶人，要替天行道。
总之，那个恶人突然南下清河，必有大案要做。死在他刀下的人不知几何，姑娘，万不可轻信陌生人啊！
他又不是大侠，我又不找他。唉，大侠都在哪儿啊？
死人刀，我遇见的黑人，会与他有关吗？
此事，你我也只能多加小心。
是管胡子他们，我的画本，我来啦！
喂，你小心点儿。
我要第一个买到画本。
冯大哥，死人刀一事多谢提醒，就此别过。
好，他日江湖相逢，再当拈功同事。
Can't wait to see you again.
最近清河确实有些古怪，韩也真是，什么事非要等开坛宴再说。
It's been odd lately. It's so pretty. I just love how beautiful it is. And be here for hours and hours. So what we're going to do is take care of getting some basic stuff done before we can really explore and start some quests. that I am supposed to be going this way. Get this red mist beetle. Try not to move my mouse too fast or in like a really to jerk it around, because I find that really unpleasant to watch. I'm trying to be a little bit mindful of it. Over. Oh dear. Not gonna start killing things yet, except for these guys over here. Another thing I'm going to warn you about now is that I suck at combat in this game. I have bad reflexes. I've tested them and they are legitimately below average. I have not the greatest eyesight. I have okay eyesight in one eye and I have cataract on the other eye, which interferes a little bit with my ability to see exactly what's happening as quickly as it happens in these games. So if that bugs you, you won't like this playthrough. If you don't enjoy watching someone, unless they're really good at combat and doing the right things, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say goodbye right now because you will not enjoy watching me. I've kept aim assist off, or not aim assist, aim assist. I've been playing too much Resident Evil Requiem. I've turned the deflect assist off for now. I don't like how they've chosen to make that easier. I wish it was just a bigger parry or deflect window rather than slowing everything down, which interferes with my ability to decide what to do in the moment and to learn timing a little bit better. But without it, I also take a whole lot of hits. So let's see how this goes. I'm also kind of tired tonight after trying to get this set up. Not bad, not bad. I don't think I did that on purpose. Got a headshot out of that. That was actually pretty fun. This is on story difficulty, in case you're wondering. That was maybe misleading. I did better there than I usually do. These guys, I think, are already set up to be pretty easy, but yeah, let's get through some of these other like early game things. I need to go over here and talk to a guy. Collect stuff. I love collecting stuff. It's just so fun to be here. It's been a couple months since I played, and I forgot just how much fun it is to just exist.
3天了，你是第一个与我搭讪的人， 这东西就给了你吧。怎样？这3天我换了多少路人，只有你为之停住。此物归你，就是天意呀。我还有一物更是了得，只是太过珍重，须得花点心思。不知你有没有兴趣？怎么这般小气？我都已经饿了3天，就等你这个有缘人。现在只是要你稍许俗物，这也不行。有道是天助自助者，我也不愿再等下去了。这本武林录你拿走好了，也算此物与你有缘。
真给我了？
你若过意不去，那边的熊与我不得相安。你离
Oh,
去
right,
时
right.
把
We
我
gotta
赶走
go
的，
learn Tai
便
Chi
算抵了
from
吧。
a bear.
这世上各有命数，那熊皮与我是灾，与你又何尝不是缘呢？日后若遇我同道中人，可送咫尺天涯。
Go do Tai Chi, and you'll see how bad I am at this now with this bear. I'm trying to throw it into the right place. I've practiced a few times with the bears in this game, so hopefully it won't be quite as bad as it was my first time.
这
But
熊的姿势倒似有功夫在身。
it took me an embarrassing long time to get the hang of throwing the bear in the right direction. But skill theft. Not too hard in terms of like timing. Maybe it gets harder later, but okay. So one. Oh, I just had to be quicker about it, I guess.
将军死了，红线还等着呢。
No! Oh my god. All that. There was another guy I had to talk to about the fire arrows, but I guess I can do them. I didn't have to do that. Just wasted a fire arrow. Where's that other guy I need to talk to?
“江叔虽走了3年，但他那一份酒，韩以每年都留着。”
Unfortunately, I don't like killing them, but you need them for upgrade parts.
韩以打算宣布的事，连我都瞒着，难道真和我身世有关？
Poor guy. I love him so much.
奶奶的，什么开残鸟宴？那客商吹得好酒遍地，老子还当他有哪门子财务孝敬？到他娘头上酒没带几坛，钱也没几个，干这一票真是白费心思。
大哥莫急，我听说那办开坛宴的娘们儿自个儿不生养，偏养了个捡来的小鬼，可宝贝着呢。
Some
若是咱们
orphan?
将其绑来，不是就
Rude.
有钱花？ 又有酒喝了。
好啊，惦记上爷爷了。
Someone's craving a piece of you, and I think it's Hung Doga.
我虽非江叔韩一亲生，他们待我却和别家亲生的没有两样。韩一有要事宣布，却不愿提前告诉我，许是有苦衷也说不定。不知江叔什么时候回来？我想去江湖找他，可韩一偏不让。唉。
So, his talking to himself is a little bit contrived to give us some information, but I don't think it's too bad. It's mostly stuff he would probably naturally be thinking about. Oops. The only, I think, small criticism I have in terms of the writing, I was just gonna say it's a bit repetitive, and he just said exactly the same kind of thing that he said before. It does repeat a little bit here in the beginning, but it's hard to catch while you're playing if you're not really paying attention. I don't mind it too much, and I love the little NPC dialogue. Again, it's not generic NPC dialogue. You're overhearing it for a reason, to set up this sort of tension of something that might happen, some trouble that's headed your way. The things are there are people out there who have a reason to maybe dislike your aunt or want something at this banquet. It's hinting at the trouble to come, and I really appreciate that.
生人，便是往年开坛宴加一块都赶不上，还是要提防些。
Yeah, like I've been watching some people play Crimson Desert, and I'm gonna try to avoid being too mean about that game and being just criticizing, because it really doesn't matter. Is that a bird? And I don't want to just get bogged down in complaining about something, but one thing that I dislike about that game, and I think is less good, less well done in that game than this one, is just general NPC dialogue. It's very generic. People are not really saying something specific to where they are, when they are, who they're talking to, and even this outside of maybe that very first sort of scene when they're at when Cliff is with sort of generally with the the Greymanes. That's a little bit more specific, but kind of in a really general way, except for a few NPCs. But these all feel, a lot of the NPCs in this game, and I'll point out where I find anything that is not as strong as I'm saying now, if I find anything to sort of go against this idea. This is not where I want to be. I want to go find the oddity guy. It's here. these feel purposeful. You know, this is a little bit of how did I fail a quest?
好个俏后生，一样的声音，一样的炽烈，倒叫人想起16年前。老儿知你有元法在身，今儿个再送你一场造化，与你活食几只，取了蹊跷吧。
此
Got
人
it,
说
but
什
I'll
么
take
疯
more
话？
fire arrows.
不过那边确有些……
小后生，
Yes. Oh, I think I'm gonna take the Panacea fan because I need the healing very badly. Like I said, I am terrible at combat. I'd love to start with something a little different. I'd love to start with the umbrella in many ways, but I'm not gonna get very far if I don't use this, if I don't do this. So. So, Panacea fan, sometimes I will probably be repeating things to myself about how this game works. Because I have to remind myself there's so many mechanics and so many different things to know. Panacea fan is the martial arts that I am learning. True fan is the actual equipped weapon. I'm replacing the spear with the fan.
好造化呀！天地有律，险而为赖，蹊跷运之。
蹊跷，好怪的名字。
此物与我大用，若以后再助我寻得，我这里的宝贝都可以与你。小后生，我听你五音不协，却存应天之术，天运即降，当有变局。是福是祸，就要看你的造化啦。
Sorry if
神
my
叨叨，
cursor stays on the
换
screen
宝贝这事儿先记上，
sometimes.
去将军祠找侯信再
应
说。
天改之，应人作之，此为越道啊。
So we've got that set up and ready to collect more oddities.
应
I've
天
got my
改之，
fan.
应人作之，此为上道啊。
I really enjoy. I love the fan. It reminds me of my favorite character from Word of Honor. There's another oddity really close. It's like on the minimap. Is that an oddity? Oh, yep. Go. Go. That's annoying. Small things you kill don't really have a sparkle, especially in the long grass. Frustrating. Okay. So, there are lots of things we could just go explore and do, but I think I want to tackle General Shrine for the moment and do... Nope, I did not miss this. Good. I don't know if I can do this better this time. We're gonna try to at least get the horse.
你管我走哪边？
哎，别多生枝节。好，对不住了，这位游侠，我们是有要事在身，还请见谅。还不麻溜点滚！
好个偷马贼，理不直气倒挺壮。
No.
哼，小畜生，好勾当，胳膊就老实了。哎，我腿还疼着呢。
Good. I got their hung weapon. Can we survive? Can we just maybe let's regroup. See, I do not know how to block that. I'm sure they just escape, but I've got my horse. Staying at a boundary stone refills. Oh. Got my horse. This one too? Yes, got 2 horses.
Hello. 都围在这儿做什么呢？对了，有人见着红线了吗？
岂止是见着啦，他还给你领了个活儿。哎，就那边那个跑商的，摆了个擂台，说是有江湖人的玩意儿当彩头。红线一听不得了，立马把钱都给你交了。哎，你快去试试啊，得把本钱赢回来啊！
少东家是最厉害的，少东家敢吃蛇、吃蛙、吃老虎。
少东家是最厉害的，少东家还敢抓鸡、抓猫、抓大鹅。
也不是都很敢。
各位父老，听我言，发财的机会在眼前。老金出来贵宝地，捐出宝物扬名气。 今日摆下英雄台，不是英雄你
So
莫来。
annoying.
莫犹豫，莫徘徊，犹豫徘徊又白来。现今这擂台过了半，最大的彩头往前看。你心动，你想用，你就得和方旭碰。方旭，天泉门下高徒，外号神刀猛方旭。硬气功霸道非凡，断金碎石不在话下。大家踊跃参加，赛后有抢宝会，都是新玩意儿，价高者得。特价木换子，买1斤送半斤啊！数量。
方娘，这擂台怎么这般热闹？
Sorry, did not mean to push you, Mrs. Feng.
其实韩娘子酿酒的手艺好，打了名声出去，来清河的人可不就多了吗？
邢出品吃了可长10年功力的娃娃鱼肉，限量20份，先定先得。有摸洞寻宝的买卖，就找我金山海。
Some of these just I read too fast, and I'm not sure now whether he called her Mrs. or if he was referring to somebody else. I didn't quite read all that.
喂，
I'm trying.
咋不打招呼就过我人呢？
啊，不好意思打扰了，请问？
哎，扰都扰了，那就打呗。我天泉神刀猛方旭，从不打无准备之人。那谁，握好你的兵器，来挨打。
That's entirely possible. We'll see how this goes.
当日我入天泉门下，来了宝贝神器，没过几年我就把他打得哭着跟我这喝。啥东西？不对，你别运转，咋回事？这是。
Oh, that's cheap. Too slow. That one I can get. I don't know if it's supposed to be like right when he. No, there's. I don't need it. Not figure this out. Deflection from who? What was that? I already have deflection. What are you talking about? I want to. My instinct is. Deflect as soon as it's about to. Right when it's gonna hit me. But that doesn't seem to work, but sometimes it does. Maybe it's just like right before. That one doesn't seem to work then. I can't quite get the timing of that one. Nope. Stand.
风起，出界，剑出，绝浮云。
That was unfair. It's just unfair.
真要我把你打得爬不起来才认呢。
Like instant exhaustion.
“当日我入天泉门下，来了宝贝来师弟死，没过几年我就把他打得哭了我就喝，真不知道怪兽斗出来的，啥东西飞来飞去。不对，气血运动，咋回事？
Hey.
干他娘！怎么还在打？你还有完没完？
谁跟你去拉一下呀？
剑出，绝浮云。
Really don't know when to block that or when to deflect it. I am trying. Might not see me, but I am trying my ass off. Block things and or to deflect. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, now the asshole Firefly has left him. He will no longer be an asshole. Just one more beautiful man.
好疼，好疼，疼疼疼疼啊！
Some of these tutorials seem new. I think they've added. Maybe I've just have more. I don't think that happened here before.
唐采火咋那么大火气？不应当。
So hot-headed because you had an insect trolling you. Yeah, see if you watch the dialogue that comes up, it's relevant to what's going on. It's like flavor text, you know, they're talking about this, what you're about to be doing as well. You're trying, it's giving hints about this character that is going to basically be a cheat, and that Ruby wants this storybook from, and yeah, it all has purpose. Some people were claiming, I know early on, some people are talking about AI, and I understand that this game kind of opened itself up to that with the AI chatbots. And some of the machine translation that was used is just not good. It's not as good. But I don't see this dialogue as being AI created dialogue, because it's all very purposeful in terms of like it's leading you, it's setting you up for what you're about to do a lot of the time. The side dialogue we just heard, I didn't catch the full details because it does go by very fast in the subtitles. And doing this while recording is going to be yet one more additional challenge. They're talking about that guy who's giving away the prizes that we were just talking to here. I can't remember his name at the moment. I should know his name. He's a prominent recurring character. And we also are going to want our prize for doing this little fight. And they were talking about how he'd better have the prize or they wasted, they didn't want to do this fight for nothing. And I won't go into this much depth over every little side dialogue, I promise. It's just like at the beginning, I want to talk about why I'm so excited about focusing on some of this, because this game has gotten a lot of criticism, and some of it is merited, but some of it I think overlooks some of what's actually here. But a lot of the dialogue, and I think it's hard if you have the English voices. Some of it is so badly acted, it's really hard to take seriously, and I get that. I also really struggle with the English voice acting in this game. And if you're not using the English, if you're using the Chinese voice acting, then you have to read very quickly in the subtitles and catch them while you're playing, while you're running around, while you're looking at the beautiful scenery. So I get that it's hard to catch those things. And especially since this isn't the kind of thing that you replay and that you see story moments over and over. It's sort of a one and done because of the nature of the game. But that's why I'm doing this, and I am trying to kind of wrap this up for this session because I'm getting pretty tired. And I will also wrap up by talking a little bit about another aspect of the writing in the early game, which is the very beginning and how it sets up the story and the hook. But because I think it's pretty strong. Let's go hang out with Hongju while we are talking about the story. Because I think the hook is pretty nice. Maybe it's not the best that I've ever seen in a game, but it's fun. We start with the prologue several years earlier, and it does what a prologue needs to do. It hints at a bigger story. It hints at what's to come in a scene that's not necessarily directly relevant to the story itself. It's before the actual story starts with the protagonist. And it's one that introduces us, it sets up who the protagonist is in the world and gives us a little flavor of a bigger conflict that we are part of, but we don't really fully understand yet. It introduces us to our uncle so that we are also invested in finding him just as our protagonist is. Because we might find it interesting that he's searching for a missing uncle if we never knew who that uncle was. But introducing us to him first lets us, and letting us invest in him by playing as him is a really smart choice. And we get to see a little of his personality. We get to see that somebody else also cares for him. That is one key way. If you're a writer, if you're trying to write something and you want readers or game players or whoever is your audience to invest in a character that maybe they don't know much about yet, one really strong way to do that is to show that another character or multiple other characters care for that person. because it shows that they are worth caring about. So we see someone actually like sacrificing themselves for Zhang Wulong, and that gives us instantly this feeling that he must be worth saving and worth investing in. So there's a lot of like really smart choices in terms of introducing the story and the world. Something that I noticed rewatching and replaying that is hard to catch the first time through is that the people chasing us at the very start are the Oriat Pavilion. They're a sect that comes up in conflict with us at some point. And it's just a really nice hook into then transitioning into our protagonist, our player character, who is now older and eager to go find his uncle who's been missing for a few years. And it's created this mystery. We know enough to care, but we don't know but a lot of it is missing so that it makes us curious to find out what's going on. It has set up questions, and a couple of them it answered, but it's also left some bigger questions that we know won't come for a long time. Who knows when we will ever meet our uncle again with this sort of game that is sort of serialized in a way. And I think that if you take the time to look, there's some interesting things going on in this game. So we're just gonna have fun with that. I'm gonna end the videos talking about that sort of thing. Problem with this is I always find one more thing, like, oh, I could go get that oddity right now. No, I don't need to. I don't need to. Next time, what we will do, I think, is explore the shrine a little, do a few of the things here, like get our frog skill, and go down underground to do that little quest before we claim our prize from Old Jin. So until next time, I'll see you when I get the next one up. Thanks. See you later.